Hi, welcome to Addictionary, where we help people get addicted to themselves. I just wanted to talk a little bit about something I've noticed a lot lately with a lot of clients and also in everyday conversation. And it's around, like thoughts become things, and it's around our thinking and what we tell ourselves to be true. And one of my favorite quotes is, "What else is possible?" I think what else is possible always opens the mind. When we think I can't, we say I can't, it shuts the mind down, and the mind's like a parachute. It only works when it's open. So what else is possible? I recently spent some time with some friends helping them to change their mindset. She'd just been diagnosed with stage 4 liver cancer and bowel cancer. And, there was such a challenge working with what they've been told from the medical system. And what the fear that we buy into around this whole dis-ease. And, one of the scary things is when people think they have cancer, they think it's terminal. The instant thing is like, oh my God, so many people have died from cancer, it's a death sentence. And that's absolutely not true. If everything is a thought, anything is possible. Anything is repairable, anything is curable. We're a soul with a body, not a body with a soul. The only reason something shows up in the body in the form of a discomfort, disorder, dis-ease is because there's trauma or emotion associated with this. So we get a completely new body every 7 years. Every 7 years, every one of your cells has regenerated and completely transformed with a new cell. And the only reason, as Deepak Chopra says, the only reason a new cell will replicate the genetics of an old cell is because there's still emotional trauma associated with it. So you get rid of the trauma and the emotion and you get a completely new cell. And this is how people are able to beat diseases and disorders of all kinds. Like I know people who've beaten cancer, like stage 4, like terminal cancer. I know people who've beaten Crohn's disease. I know people who've beaten diabetes. The other thing I just want to say on that really quickly is you'll never get rid of anything by fighting it. So I see these people, let's fight cancer, let's fight. As soon as you get into that mentality of fight, there becomes a resistance, there becomes a tension within the body. The only way you'll get rid of anything is through love. That sounds a little bit wanky, I know, but what I mean by that is I went back and worked with these friends who had cancer, and if everything in the universe is an energy, then cancer is an energy. That cancer came into her life for a reason. That cancer is a consciousness. So why did the cancer come into her life? So we actually explored the reasons why that cancer came into her life, and we did this by seeing the benefits of it. What's happened since this cancer's been in your life? How's that benefited you? Excuse the motorbikes. I'm living in Bali. Anything can happen. I love it. So we looked at the benefits and we looked at why it had come into her life, and she realized that she wasn't actually living her life in the way that she wanted. So, as a result of this cancer coming into her life, she suddenly was able to have a much better relationship with her partner and with her children. Her extended family had more love. So this cancer actually came into her life to give her more love. When she was able to get this, she cried and she actually thanked the cancer. Now, when you get to this point of love, where you get what it came in for, if this cancer has a consciousness and it came in and it was thanked, that's no longer needed. But if you declare a fight with that cancer, then you're fighting it, and it's going to stay there and it's going to fight because there's a resistance with it. Yeah, it's the same. Like as soon as we declared a war on cancer, we went from back when I was a kid, like this, the statistics were 1 in 80 people had cancer, to now 1 in 2 people have cancer. So as soon as you declare a war on something, it expands, it grows. Energy goes, where attention flows. It's the same when we declared a war on drugs. As soon as we declared a war on drugs, my God, drugs kaboomed. Like the problem we have around the world is phenomenal. So don't declare a war on it, don't fight it, love it. So what we're able to do once you're in that space and you love this cancer is you're in a different headspace. And then it's no longer a life sentence. It's actually something that came in to help you and serve you. And then when you've got why it was there, there's no reason for it to be there anymore. Now we did some work around changing the diet and cleaning her body up and the temple in which this cancer was housed, because it also only lives in an acidic body. So we did some work around that as well, and continued to do some other work around relationships and around mindset. And because they also, she had the operation, she had the cancer cut out, so there was no cancer. So I got her in her mind to actually realize there's no cancer. But they kept telling her there was cancer, or the fear of cancer coming back because it's bloodborne, and even though the cancer, and I said, but hang on, they've cut the cancer out, we've cleaned your body out, there's no, like we've done the emotional work, there's zero cancer. We're not dealing with cancer now, we're dealing with health, we're dealing with a different mentality. Yet the medical field, no, like there's still, so the struggle there was, the medical side continuing to implant the fear. And I mean, my friends were very, they're very switched on people, they're very awake and they get it, so they didn't buy into what the surgeon was telling them. But they did tell me very good friends of theirs who were going through very similar things, and a lot earlier than my friend was diagnosed. She recently she just changed specialists and oncologists, and this specialist that she went to, she asked him, a question, because she's had all the chemo she can have. She can't have any more chemo anymore. They can't give her any more. She's at her end, I guess, of the treatment. So she said to this oncologist, "Look, is it okay? We've always wanted another child. Is it okay if I have another child again?" And the oncologist looked at her and he said, "Look, it's okay for you to have another child, but if I was you, I would think very, very seriously about whether or not you want this child to grow up with a single dad." And I thought, I wanted to slap this guy. I wasn't there, I might have, What a dumb thing to plant into somebody's head. If everything's a thought, why would you even plant that thought? I mean, the very thought that he's implanting there suggests that the chemotherapy and the treatment that he's giving doesn't work. I mean, because if the chemo worked, he'd be saying, "No, you're fit and healthy, you've had chemo, you're fine, you're healed, you'll be great for the rest of your life." What else is possible? Yeah, don't let anyone ever say to you, "Look, you have to work hard for the rest of your life if you want to be successful." Bollocks! You don't have to work hard. You just have to know it. You just have to know it beyond a shadow of a doubt that it's coming to you by all the laws of physics and nature. I mean, you have to take action, but it doesn't mean you have to work hard or slog your guts. I don't know people who are super successful, multi-millionaires, who didn't work hard. They worked smart, and they loved what they did, so it didn't feel like work for them. So be very careful what you let people put into your head. Be very careful about how you think yourself, about what we tell ourselves. Again, Deepak Chopra, be careful what you say and what you tell yourself, because every single living cell of your body is eavesdropping on your mind. Your subconscious believes what you think and what you feel, more importantly. So the feelings are the vibrations that you're giving out. So make sure they're really good vibrations. Make sure they're what else is possible vibrations. Make sure they're open vibrations. And you tell them, if any of you have been diagnosed with cancer or any disorder or disease, don't let them tell you how it's going to be. You tell them. You tell them what your statistics are going to be, what your healing rate's going to be. You tell them what your future's going to look like, and think that and visualize that every single day. Don't think, "Oh my God, if I get rid of this cancer and, or in 3 months' time, if I make it past this point." Don't do that. Think 20, 40, 50, 60 years in advance. Think what it's going to be like to watch your kids graduate and get married and have grandchildren, and what it feels like to hold those grandchildren. What it feels like to hold your daughter's hand or your son's hand while they're in the birth. Visualize amazing things. Put yourself there. Feel it. Breathe it, be it. What else is possible? I hope this has been helpful. Have an amazing day. Keep thinking positively. Bye.